Amid the scars left by human massacres and the pain of ancient wars, the true strength of humanity would emerge so unexpectedly that even the Galactic Council would be forced to reconsider its beliefs. On the vast stage of the universe, where revenge echoes with every pulse of antimatter missiles and advanced shields carry the memories of epic battles, the HSS Indomitable arises. A warship that is not merely a machine, but a living space legend, capable of turning the impossible into reality. Captain Roy Adams, with his unwavering determination, embodies human supremacy in a counterintuitive way. It is in adversity that he carves hope and solutions for the wounds of a fragile truce. The Galactic Council, once proud of its order and stability, now finds itself shocked to witness mass destruction, transformed into an opportunity for redemption. This narrative is not for the faint-hearted. It is a controversial invitation for those who believe that where there is pain, there also exists the seed of a transformative revolution. With the experimental phase canon ready to challenge the limits, dilemma that provokes even the most skeptical, the story promises quick rewards for those daring enough to dive into its mysteries. If you are prepared to question established truths and discover how revenge can, surprisingly, transmute into a path of hope, then embark on this cosmic odyssey. Join the journey where the legend of the HSS Indomitable reveals secrets that will make even the Galactic Council tremble, and where each challenge ignites the flame of a new era for humanity. Are you ready to explore this universe of controversy, surprising assertions, and unimaginable possibilities? In the silent abyss of hyperspace, the HSS Indomitable burst forth with the roar of a space legend reborn. The imposing warship, a symbol of human supremacy, glided majestically into the heart of the Hazari system. As the stars shimmered in breathtaking beauty, the Galactic Council watched with fear and reverence. Each ray of light emanating from that relic of past battles seemed to carry memories of vengeance and a forgotten human massacre. The intense glow of the advanced shields reflected the promise of mass destruction, foreshadowing conflicts beyond imagination. Amidst this grand setting, echoes of a fragile truce mingled with the ancestral dread of the alien representatives. The presence of the HSS Indomitable heralded the awakening of a force that defied any interstellar logic. The warship, with its mythical aura, carried the essence of epic battles and the shadow of a past with future consequences. Each movement appeared choreographed by an unyielding fate, where antimatter missiles awaited the command. In the silence of space, the cosmic winds whispered that the legendary vessel was only beginning to write its chapter. In the silent hall of the Galactic Council, the faces of the alien elders twisted in surprise and horror upon sighting the HSS Indomitable. The sudden appearance of that warship evoked ancient tales and stirred a moral dilemma that permeated the universe. Every exchanged glance reflected the tension of a human supremacy capable of transforming the cosmic balance. The memories of a human massacre and the ghosts of vengeance loomed heavily, like an inescapable omen. As the representatives debated in hushed tones, the presence of advanced shields and antimatter missiles signaled a new era of mass destruction. The atmosphere vibrated with the energy of an epic battle that could, at any moment, shatter the fragile truce that had once sustained peace. The HSS Indomitable advanced with the determination of a captain who understood the risks and dreams of a people thirsting for justice. On the horizon, the enemy fleet hesitated, aware that the legendary vessel represented something beyond a mere warship. Each pulse of the cosmos reaffirmed that the moral dilemma between retaliation and redemption was about to intensify. In the intertwining of fears and hopes, the Galactic Council found itself powerless before a human power that promised to rewrite destiny. Aboard the HSS Indomitable, Captain Roy Adams led the mission with the calm of a veteran who had transformed pain into strength. His cold, determined eyes reflected the scars of past battles and the fervor of a vengeance that would never be forgotten. Each command echoed as a reminder that the history of human massacres and struggles for supremacy was real. Under his watchful gaze, the antimatter missiles and advanced shields awaited with pinpoint precision for the moment of action. Roy Adams stood tall as an unyielding symbol, blending the rigor of an epic battle with the sensitivity of a moral dilemma. The warship, imbued with the essence of a space legend, pulsed with the energy of a past filled with tragedies and glories. In every gesture, the captain reaffirmed that vengeance was as natural as the fate of the stars in their immutable course. The memory of the horrors endured in the colonies transformed each decision into a bridge between suffering and justice. As the enemy fleet formed in silence, Roy's confidence made it clear that human supremacy was invincible. Thus, amid the whirlwind of emotions and power, the commander prepared the ground for what was to come. Outside, the emptiness of space filled with the restless murmur of the enemy fleet, trembling before the inexorable advance of the HSS Indomitable. Each Hazari ship, with its advanced shields, glimmered in an attempt to conceal the fear of what seemed to be inevitable mass destruction. The Galactic Council watched amid silent debates as the longings for ancient vengeance mingled with the remnants of a fragile truce. The cosmic environment simmered with the energy of antimatter missiles, poised to seal fates and revive the wounds of human massacres. In every pulse of light, the moral dilemma was present, questioning whether retaliation would justify the price to be paid. Captain Roy Adams remained impassive, his figure standing firm amid an epic battle that would transcend time. The silence of space was interrupted only by the echo of orders and the intense glow of a reluctant, experimental phase cannon, threatening to silence fear. Among the representatives of the Council, the conviction that something grand was about to happen took shape with each passing second. Human supremacy, evidenced by the power of the HSS Indomitable, emerged as a beacon amidst uncertainties and intergalactic fears. As the universe watched, the first notes of a new chapter began to unfold, hinting that greater challenges were on the horizon. With the vastness as witness, the HSS Indomitable advanced imposing, exuding the essence of a living, pulsating space legend. Every movement of the warship was a symphony of power, echoing the conviction of a human supremacy that would not bow to fear. In the heart of the Hazari system, the remnants of a human massacre and the traces of a long-sealed vengeance intertwined. The advanced shields of the enemy ships trembled as antimatter missiles tore through space with the precision of an inescapable fate. Captain Roy Adams, with his serene demeanor, knew that each shot was a note in the melody of an epic battle that defied time. The presence of the HSS Indomitable transformed the scene into a stage where history was being written with the force of a fragile truce broken. Even the stellar winds seemed to whisper secrets of a moral dilemma, where retaliation mingled with the hope for redemption. Each explosion, each flash, stood as a testament to mass destruction that ironically reinforced human supremacy. In the intertwining of destinies, the enemy fleet found itself powerless against a power that had already transcended the limits of imagination. And in the pulsing of the cosmos, the promise of future consequences prepared the universe for a new cycle of confrontations. Amidst the silent vastness, the command of the HSS Indomitable vibrated with the energy of a fate charted by steady human hands. Captain Roy Adams piloted the warship with the determination of one who had transformed the pain of the past into a flame of vengeance. Each order emanated an authority that echoed the memory of human massacres and the inevitability of an epic battle. The Galactic Council, in its most secret corners, watched as its plans crumbled before the unyielding force of a living space legend. Antimatter missiles and advanced shields formed the ballet of mass destruction that defied all predictions. In the tension of strategy and the weight of a moral dilemma, human supremacy revealed its purest and most relentless face. The Dance of the Stars became the perfect backdrop for the spectacle of an experimental phase cannon that ripped through the veil of peace. Each moment carried the tension of a fragile truce undone, heralding the first chords of a limitless vengeance. The murmurs of the cosmos recalled the scars of the past and the promise that, even in the face of fear, humanity would triumph. Thus, in a moment of calm before the storm, the universe prepared for the challenges to come, silently inviting the unknown. On the edge of a new threshold, the HSS Indomitable rose as a harbinger of destinies traced with courage and ancestral fury. Every detail of the warship told stories of epic battles where human supremacy manifested in every flash of light. The serene gaze of Captain Roy Adams, still marked by the scars of a human massacre, was the embodiment of contained vengeance. As the enemy fleet dispersed under the weight of advanced shields, the echo of antimatter missiles outlined a path of mass destruction. At the core of this confrontation, the presence of the experimental phase cannon reminded all that no fragile truce could halt the momentum of justice. The vastness of space vibrated with a moral dilemma that incited both fear and admiration for a moving space legend. Each explosion and each flash of energy composed a symphony that transcended mere retaliation, reclaiming the essence of human supremacy. The remnants of past battles and the shadows of a vengeful past intertwined in promises of future consequences. Amidst this whirlwind of colossal forces, the universe whispered that new challenges awaited, opening an uncertain horizon. And so, with the cosmos in suspense, the arrival of the HSS Indomitable lingered in the air as a promise that the horrors and glories of the past were merely the prelude to what was to come. In the silent abyss of hyperspace, the HSS Indomitable erupted with the roar of a reborn space legend. The imposing warship, a symbol of human supremacy, majestically glided into the heart of the Hazari system. As the stars twinkled in breathtaking beauty, the Galactic Council observed with fear and reverence. Every ray of light emanating from that relic of past battles seemed to carry memories of vengeance and a forgotten human massacre. The intense glow of the advanced shields reflected the promise of mass destruction, foreshadowing conflicts beyond imagination. Amidst this grandiose scene, echoes of a fragile truce mingled with the ancestral dread of the alien representatives. The presence of the HSS Indomitable heralded the awakening of a force that defied any interstellar logic. The warship, in its mythical aura, brought with it the essence of epic battles and the shadow of a past filled with future consequences. Every movement seemed choreographed by an unyielding fate, where antimatter missiles awaited the command. In the silence of space, the cosmic winds whispered that the space legend was just beginning to write its chapter. In the silent hall of the Galactic Council, the faces of the alien elders twisted in surprise and horror at the sight of the HSS Indomitable. The sudden appearance of that warship evoked ancient tales and awakened a moral dilemma that permeated the universe. Each exchanged glance reflected the tension of a human supremacy, capable of transforming the cosmic balance. The memories of a human massacre and the ghosts of vengeance hung heavily, like an inescapable omen. As the representatives debated in hushed murmurs, the presence of advanced shields and antimatter missiles signaled a new era of mass destruction. The atmosphere vibrated with the energy of an epic battle that could, at any moment, shatter the fragile truce that had once sustained peace. The HSS Indomitable advanced with the determination of Captain Roy Adams, who understood the risks and dreams of a people thirsty for justice. On the horizon, the enemy fleet hesitated, aware that the space legend represented something beyond a mere warship. Each pulsing moment of the cosmos reaffirmed that the moral dilemma between retaliation and redemption was about to intensify. In the intertwining of fears and hopes, the Galactic Council found itself powerless against a human power that promised to rewrite destiny. Aboard the HSS Indomitable, Captain Roy Adams conducted the mission with the serenity of a veteran who had transformed pain into strength. His cold, determined eyes reflected the scars of past battles and the fervor of a vengeance that would never be forgotten. Every command he issued echoed as a reminder that the history of human massacres and the struggles for supremacy was real. Under his watchful gaze, the antimatter missiles and advanced shields waited with pinpoint precision for the exact moment of action. The figure of Roy Adams stood as an unyielding symbol, blending the rigor of an epic battle with the sensitivity of a moral dilemma. The warship, imbued with a legendary aura, pulsed with the energy of a past filled with tragedies and glories. In every gesture, the captain reaffirmed that revenge was as natural as the destiny of the stars in their immutable course. The memory of the horrors experienced in the colonies transformed each decision into a bridge between suffering and justice. As the enemy fleet formed silently, Roy's confidence made it clear that human supremacy was invincible. Amidst the whirlwind of emotions and power, the commander was preparing the ground for what was to come. Outside, the emptiness of space filled with the restless murmurs of the enemy fleet, trembling before the inexorable advance of the HSS Indomitable. Each Hazari ship, with its advanced shields, shimmered in an attempt to conceal the fear of what seemed like an inevitable mass destruction. The Galactic Council watched, caught in silent debates as the long-held desires for revenge mingled with the remnants of a fragile truce. The cosmic environment simmered with the energy of antimatter missiles, poised to seal fates and reopen wounds from human massacres. With each pulse of light, the moral dilemma made its presence felt, questioning whether retaliation would justify the price to be paid. Captain Roy Adams remained impassive, his figure rising amidst an epic battle that would transcend time. The silence of space was interrupted only by the echo of commands and the intense glow of a reluctant experimental phase cannon, unwilling to silence fear. Among the council representatives, the conviction that something grand was about to unfold took shape with every passing second. Human supremacy, evidenced by the might of the HSS Indomitable, emerged as a beacon amidst uncertainties and intergalactic fears. As the universe watched, the first chords of a new chapter began to unfold, hinting that greater challenges were approaching. With the vastness as its witness, the HSS Indomitable advanced majestically, exuding the essence of a living and pulsating space legend. Each movement of the warship was a symphony of power, echoing the conviction of a human supremacy that would not bend before fear. In the heart of the Hazari system, the remnants of a human massacre and the traces of a long-sealed revenge intertwined. The advanced shields of the enemy ships trembled as antimatter missiles ripped through space with the precision of an inescapable destiny. Captain Roy Adams, with his serene demeanor, knew that each shot was a note in the melody of an epic battle that defied time. The presence of the HSS Indomitable transformed the scene into a stage where history was being written with the force of a broken, fragile truce. Even the stellar winds seemed to whisper secrets of a moral dilemma, where retaliation mingled with the hope of redemption. Each explosion and flash testified to a mass destruction that, paradoxically, reinforced human supremacy. In the intertwining of fates, the enemy fleet found itself powerless before a power that transcended the limits of imagination. In the pulsating cosmos, the promise of future consequences prepared the universe for a new cycle of confrontations. Amidst the silent immensity, the command of the HSS Indomitable vibrated with the energy of a destiny shaped by firm human hands. Captain Roy Adams piloted the warship with the determination of one who had transformed the pain of the past into a flame of vengeance. Each command resonated with an authority that echoed the memory of human massacres and the inevitability of an epic battle. The Galactic Council, in its most secret corners, saw its plans crumble before the unyielding force of a living space legend. Antimatter missiles and advanced shields composed the ballet of mass destruction that defied any prediction. Between the rigor of strategy and the weight of a moral dilemma, human supremacy revealed its purest and most relentless face. The dance of the stars became the perfect backdrop for the spectacle of an experimental phase cannon that tore through the veil of peace. Each moment carried the tension of a fragile truce shattered, heralding the first notes of limitless vengeance. The murmurs of the cosmos recalled the scars of the past, and the promise that, even in the face of fear, humanity would triumph. In a moment of calm before the storm, the universe prepared for challenges to come, silently inviting the unknown. At the edge of a new threshold, the HSS Indomitable rose as a portent of destinies, forged with courage and ancestral fury. Every detail of the warship told stories of epic battles, where human supremacy manifested in every flash of light. Captain Roy Adams's serene gaze, marked by the scars of a human massacre, embodied contained vengeance. As the enemy fleet dispersed under the weight of advanced shields, the echo of antimatter missiles outlined a path of mass destruction. At the heart of this confrontation, the presence of the experimental phase cannon reminded all that no fragile truce could deter the momentum of justice. The immensity of space vibrated with a moral dilemma that instigated both fear and admiration for a moving space legend. Each explosion and flash of energy composed a symphony that transcended mere retaliation, rescuing the essence of human supremacy. Vestiges of past battles and shadows of an ancient cycle of revenge intertwined with promises of future consequences. Amidst this whirlwind of colossal forces, the universe whispered that new challenges awaited, opening an uncertain horizon. Thus, with the cosmos in suspense, the arrival of the HSS Indomitable lingered in the air, with the promise that the horrors and glories of the past were merely the prelude to what was to come. In the aftermath of a time of darkness, the horrors of the past transformed into legends echoing throughout the universe. The scars of a human massacre marked not only planets, but also the hearts of an indomitable humanity. Once vibrant colonies became shadows of memories and forgotten ashes. Every corner of the cosmos held the echo of the merciless attacks by the Hazari, whose wounds would never heal. A decade had passed, but the pain fueled the relentless flame of revenge. Roy Adams, with the gaze of a marked warrior, vowed that injustice would never be forgiven. The HSS Indomitable cut through the void as a messenger of a past that cried out for justice. Echoes of mass destruction reverberated in the far reaches of space, propelled by antimatter missiles. Among the rubble of civilizations, the moral dilemma rose as a monument to pain and hope. Each star witnessed the relentless pursuit of a revenge that would change destinies. In the shadows of history, the Hazari's plans unfolded with the brutality of a devastating surprise attack. Human colonies, filled with dreams, were transformed into fields of mourning and desolation. In an instant of fury, millions of lives were lost, leaving behind a legacy of human massacre. Hazari planets were corrupted, turned into radioactive and barren worlds, like hardened hearts. The memory of this mass destruction echoed throughout the universe, inciting an unquenchable thirst for revenge. In the silence of the ruins, a fragile truce had been established, but it could never erase the thirst for retribution. The lament of those who perished pulsed, fueling the spirits that swore to rewrite history. Captain Roy Adams viewed his mission as a way to heal the wounds opened by time. Each launch of antimatter missiles reignited faith in human supremacy and cosmic justice. Thus, the warship continued its course, laden with fury and the promise of inescapable retaliation. Deep within Roy Adams's soul, the weight of past horrors transformed thoughts into steel and fire. Each scar was a poignant reminder of the human massacre haunting the collective memory. Mass destruction became the backdrop for an epic battle where pain transformed into strength. The voice of vengeance resonated in every shot of the antimatter missiles, echoing the rage of a cruel past. The moral dilemma pulsed in his chest, an invitation to seek justice without repeating the mistakes of the ancient enemy. The presence of the HSS Indomitable symbolized resistance, forged in the flames of an eternal conflict. As the Galactic Council watched, Roy silently reaffirmed his vow of retaliation. Each executed order was a tribute to those who perished amid indescribable horrors. The universe became a stage where human supremacy and the thirst for vengeance intertwined. Thus, the legacy of past horrors fueled a spirit that would never surrender. As bloody memories spread, the cosmos understood the magnitude of a legacy of pain. In every star, the echo of a human massacre recalled the brutality of the Hazari. The fury of an enemy fleet, once victorious, seemed small in the face of the imminent retaliation. The advanced shields of enemy ships trembled before the determination of an unyielding humanity. The moral dilemma permeated space as justice was forged amid the epic battle of emotions. Even the Galactic Council felt the weight of a past that demanded reparation with fire and steel. Each shot of the antimatter missiles composed the symphony of a vengeance that became eternal. The memory of a cruel Hazari attack ignited hearts and guided the steps of the righteous. The war transformed into a space legend where each wound was a note of redemption. In the whirlwind of destinies, the universe made room for the twists of the future. The quest for revenge ignited the soul of every survivor, transforming pain into fuel. Inside the HSS Indomitable, determination boiled, marked by lost colonies and eternal tragedies. Each trace of the bloody past propelled a retaliation against the unrelenting Hazari. The clamor of lost innocence resonated like a silent scream, uniting hearts in the flame of justice. The memories of a human massacre and planets turned into radioactive fields inspired the fight. Roy Adams, unflinching, saw each shot of the antimatter missiles as an act of redemption. The moral dilemma faded in the certainty that human supremacy would never yield. Even the fragile truce dissipated before the fury of a vengeance that became legend. Each maneuver on the battlefield was a step towards justice and retribution. Destiny intertwined with history, proving that retaliation was as inevitable as the stars. Amid the shadows of the past, the wounded hearts found solace in the fiery promise of vengeance. Each wound, marked by a human massacre, reminded of the high price of relentless war. The echoes of mass destruction rose like laments, transforming the pursuit of justice into something almost mystical. The memories of burned cities and lost innocence fueled the fire of urgent retaliation. Roy Adams, with his resolute stance, carried the scars of tragedies, converting pain into power. The HSS Indomitable, steeped in a legacy of epic battles, rose as an altar of a new era. The advanced shields and antimatter missiles silently bore witness to the ferocity of an eternal past. In every whisper of space, the moral dilemma between forgiving and avenging emerged. Challenging reason, the brutality of the Hazari and the shadow of a human massacre guided a journey of redemption. Thus, amidst tears and promises, destinies intertwined in the narrative of a perpetual vengeance. On the brink of a new chapter, the past horrors transformed into the driving force of a legendary revenge. Each painful memory of devastated colonies and merciless massacres composed a mosaic of pain and determination. The accumulated fury shone in Roy Adams' gaze as he faced the universe with a promise to never back down. The scars of time marked the space, witnessing an epic battle between justice and the cruelty of the Hazari. The antimatter missiles and advanced shields pulsed with the energy of a demanding moral dilemma. Even the fragile truce of the past seemed a whisper before the relentless force awakened. The HSS Indomitable continued its course, carrying the hope and rage of a people that refused to succumb. Each movement in space heralded future consequences and the inevitable transformation of destinies. Between the echo of a massacre and the fervor of retaliation, the space legend took on contours of truth. And so, with the universe in suspense, the horrors of the past cast their shadows, paving the way for challenges yet to come. On the display of the HSS Indomitable, the image flickered until the imposing figure of Commander Mizar emerged with an aura of disdain. His eyes, cold as the advanced shields protecting his fleet, sparkled with arrogance, and his laughter sliced through the silence of the cosmos. Each of his words overflowed with bitter irony, echoing contempt for the humans who had marked his memory with massacres. Mizar, with the chill of an antimatter missile, mocked the idea that Captain Roy Adams could be anything more than a mere memory. The Hazari warship, a symbol of supremacy that boasted in every detail, seemed to diminish the importance of a fragile truce. The commander proclaimed with haughtiness that a single human ship was insignificant, while the Galactic Council watched, astonished at every syllable. His remarks, as sharp as the experimental phase cannon, evidenced that revenge was a fate long predetermined. The interstellar environment was charged with tension, heralding an epic battle where moral dilemmas collided with mass destruction. Every imagined shot and calculated gesture made it clear that the space legend of the Hazari was being written with disdain. The scene opened a portal to future confrontations, where the consequences would intertwine with the echo of alien contempt. Mizar's voice resonated like an inescapable decree, proclaiming sarcastically that humanity was nothing more than an ephemeral detail. A single human ship? Pathetic! Echoed across the vastness, as if the commander mocked the very fate of his opponents. His laughter, laden with irony and pride, cast a shadow over the already faint hope for an agreement, reminding all of a past marked by human massacres. As antimatter missiles awaited his command, each word posed a challenge to the bravery of Captain Roy Adams. The presence of the HSS Indomitable, a symbol of human supremacy, contrasted sharply with the disdain the Hazari exhibited without hesitation. The moral dilemma hung in the air, revealing that revenge could be as relentless as the mass destruction that loomed. The enemy fleet, precisely organized by the Hazari, seemed to swallow the light of space, while the experimental phase cannon shimmered with latent potential. Every nuance of the encounter was an invitation to the climax of an epic battle, where history was being written with irony and fury. The Galactic Council watched, aware that the commander's arrogance paved the way for unprecedented conflicts. Thus, Mizar's contempt prepared the universe for a confrontation of far-reaching consequences, where every word would be a shot into the void. With an even more provocative tone, the Hazari commander intensified his mockery, emphasizing that humans could never dominate the fate of the cosmos. His words, sharp as blades, derided the audacity of those who dared to seek a fragile truce after so many massacres. As the advanced shields glimmered in response to the imminent threat, Mizar's laughter was a cruel reminder of the revenge he anticipated. The narrative intertwined the dark past with the promise of mass destruction, where each shot would be an indelible mark. Captain Roy Adams, aboard the HSS Indomitable, stood firm, embodying the space legend of human supremacy amid the Hazari's apparent weakness. The moral dilemma dividing both sides transformed into a stage for fury and irony, where words were as lethal as the antimatter missiles ready to fire. Each phrase from the commander underscored that retaliation was inevitable, even in the face of the brutality of a past human massacre. The echoes of the experimental phase cannon sounded in the background, foreshadowing a confrontation that would transcend the limits of imagination. The interstellar environment simmered with the tension of an epic battle, where every act became a symbol of a predetermined fate. In the intertwining of words and threats, Mizar's contempt sketched the prelude to an ending yet unwritten. Amid this verbal duel, the Hazari commander made it clear that his worldview allowed no room for human weakness. Each provocation resonated like a shot from antimatter missiles, demonstrating that revenge coursed through his veins. His arrogant posture rendered the HSS Indomitable even imposing, vulnerable, before a determined enemy fleet. Communication between the two sides became a clash of wills, where contempt and conviction intertwined unabashedly. The advanced shield shimmered with the promise of protection, but also reflected the fury of the Hazari, who would not accept a fragile truce. Captain Roy Adams, representing human supremacy, faced the challenge with a resolute gaze, ready for every shot. Each word spoken was a reminder that history was marked by massacres and the need for revenge. The moral dilemma arose at every moment, questioning whether retaliation justified the cost of mass destruction. The experimental phase cannon, silent yet threatening, awaited the precise moment to shatter the universe's silence. In this clash of ideologies and destinies, the tension mounted, heralding an epic battle of unimaginable proportions. The environment transformed into a true rhetorical battlefield, where Mazar's contempt and Roy Adams' resolve confronted each other in every syllable. The voice of the alien commander reverberated through space, challenging any attempt at reconciliation or fragile truce. His comments cut like sharp blades, reminding everyone that revenge was a gift reserved for those who endured human massacres. As the enemy fleet positioned itself with its advanced shields, every word became a promise of imminent mass destruction. The HSS Indomitable remained a symbol of space legend, a bastion of human supremacy against ancient threats. The moral dilemma pulsed intensely, transforming rhetoric into a weapon as lethal as the antimatter missiles poised to launch. Every fragment of dialogue was wrapped in irony and fury, tracing the contours of an impending epic battle. The presence of the experimental phase cannon added a sense of urgency, as if every word could seal destinies. The Galactic Council, attentive to every nuance, realized that this confrontation was not merely verbal, but a harbinger of intergalactic chaos. Thus, the clash of forces intensified, paving the way for developments that would bring incalculable future consequences. As the tension solidified, Mazar's contempt and Roy Adams' resilience painted a picture of an inevitable confrontation. A HSS Indomitable, the symbol of space legend, stood firm amidst the chaos, radiating the essence of human supremacy. Commander Hazari, with his disdainful laugh, seemed to anticipate the ruin that would one day befall those who dared to challenge his power. Every imagined shot, every whisper of antimatter missiles, reminded them that revenge was a currency in a merciless universe. The advanced shields glimmered with the promise of protection, but also revealed the fissures of a profound moral dilemma. As the enemy fleet lined up for the epic battle, the experimental phase cannon shimmered, ready to mark their fate. Communication between the two sides was intense, laden with irony, where contempt mingled with the inevitability of confrontation. The Galactic Council, a silent observer, recognized that this moment defined the beginning of unpredictable future consequences. Each exchanged word, each defiant gesture, amplified the feeling that the universe was on the brink of collapse. And with space in suspense, the encounter between Commander Hazari and humanity opened a portal to approaching challenges, inviting the next chapter of this intergalactic saga. In the vast expanse of cosmic darkness, the Hazari launched their assault with ferocity. A tempest of antimatter missiles and seething energy cascaded toward the HSS Indomitable. The enemy fleet surged in unison, a relentless wave of metal and fury. Amidst the chaos, the echo of a human massacre resonated through the void. Enemy ships fired in rapid succession, each shot a harbinger of mass destruction. Their launchers, guided by ancient vendettas, sought to extinguish the flame of a space legend. The cosmic battleground vibrated with the tension of an ardent revenge that echoed through space. Every explosion promised retribution, a storm set to shatter the silence of the universe. The void bore witness to a display of might that defied even the fragile truce. As the Hazari unleashed their fury, the very fabric of space trembled in anticipation. In the heart of this celestial onslaught, the HSS Indomitable stood resolute, its hull unyielding. Captain Roy Adams, calm amidst the storm, surveyed the unfolding chaos with steely determination. With grace honed in countless battles, the warship activated its advanced shields. The shimmering shields absorbed the violent impacts with a silent promise of protection. Amid the barrage, a serene order emerged, a quiet power defying cosmic tumult. Each ray of energy transformed into a protective embrace, countering the onslaught of mass destruction. The onboard systems murmured secrets of retribution and the hidden might of a space legend. In that charged moment, the universe seemed to pause, captivated by a spectacle of strength and courage. Even as the enemy fleet rained fire, the Indomitable's resolve shone like a steadfast beacon. A delicate balance between risk and hope permeated the craft, heralding the tempest yet to come. In a decisive instant, the panels of the HSS Indomitable slid open to reveal their secret arsenal. Hidden caches of antimatter missiles, forged for revenge and glory, emerged in perfect synchrony. Each launcher testified to the hidden power and resilience of the human spirit. The air vibrated with anticipation, as though the cosmos itself held its breath in reverence. The silent hum of engines merged with the thrum of deadly armaments, ready for war. Captain Roy Adams issued orders that resonated like ancient incantations of justice. Inside the ship, technology and valor danced in unison, a ballet of precision and fury. The warship transformed into a harbinger of mass destruction, poised for its moment. Among the unveiled weaponry, the dreaded experimental phase cannon glimmered ominously. Every component pulsed with the promise of an epic battle, an answer to the enemy's ire. With a thunderous roar, the secret armaments burst forth, releasing a torrent of fire into the void. Antimatter missiles streaked across space, each a blazing comet of retribution and revenge. The cosmic dance of destruction painted the darkness with trails of luminous fire and chaos. Hazari vessels shattered like fragile glass beneath the weight of overwhelming power. Advanced shields buckled under the relentless barrage, unable to thwart the explosive onslaught. The canopy of stars erupted in bursts of light, each flash etching a tale of mass destruction. Amidst the carnage, the experimental phase cannon discharged a final resounding burst of pure energy. The Inferno transformed the battlefield into a maelstrom of fiery retribution, a spectacle of might. This display was both awe-inspiring and terrifying, a vivid testament to human supremacy. In that moment, the HSS Indomitable reasserted its place in the cosmos, heralding inescapable future consequences. As the storm of fire raged on, the hidden depths of the HSS Indomitable revealed their formidable strength. Every explosion echoed with the weight of stories of revenge and ancient battles. The ship's systems danced in harmonious chaos, orchestrating a symphony of destruction and redemption. In the heart of the tempest, the valor of Captain Roy Adams emerged as a living space legend. His resolve, tempered by memories of human massacre, radiated through every decisive command. The secret might of the warship manifested as an unyielding will, an ancestral fury. With each antimatter missile launched, segments of the enemy's fleet dissolved into cosmic dust. The duel between technology and human spirit unfolded amid a relentless tempest of fire. An aura of retribution and hope merged past and present in this epic battle. In that crucible of conflict, the moral dilemma intertwined with the art of precise revenge. The raging firestorm carried whispers of an uncertain future, where every explosion became a verse in an eternal epic. The battlefield, a canvas of cosmic tumult, mirrored the symphony of human and celestial emotions. As antimatter missiles crisscrossed the void, they sang a hymn of destruction coupled with rebirth. The dazzling interplay of light and shadow stood as a manifesto of human supremacy, unyielding in defiance. Amid the chaotic beauty, the power of the HSS Indomitable emerged as a force both mythical and immortal. The pulse of the experimental phase cannon reverberated silently, a harbinger of imminent retribution. Every shattered fragment of the Hazari fleet recounted a saga of revenge and an inexorable fate. The cosmic winds bore the weight of a moral dilemma, questioning the true cost of retribution. In the glow of the Inferno, each star witnessed the rebirth of a space legend in full vigor. The echoes of battle left an indelible mark, a promise of future consequences that would forever shape the cosmos. As the final embers of the firestorm danced across the void, the cosmos trembled in silent reverence. The HSS Indomitable, scarred yet triumphant, blazed a trail of hidden eternal power. Captain Roy Adams, an imposing figure at the heart of the battle, held his unwavering conviction. Amid the raging tempest, every antimatter missile launched became a prayer for vengeance and justice. The remnants of the enemy Hazari fleet lay scattered, a testament to the might of a legendary warship. The interplay of advanced shields and explosive fury wove a tapestry of destruction and rebirth. Time itself seemed to stretch infinitely, as if the universe was witnessing an epic battle beyond compare. The whispers of the Galactic Council and the silent vigil of the GCS Peacekeeper, relics of a distant era, reverberated in the void, suggesting new challenges ahead. In that charged silence, the hidden power of the HSS Indomitable announced itself, promising revelations and further vengeance. The stage was set for the next act, where the cosmic balance would tilt, giving rise to future consequences that beckoned destiny. As the HSS Indomitable continued its dance with fate, a new sound sliced through the stellar silence. The GCS Peacekeeper, majestic and imposing, emerged on the battlefield, signaling the intervention of the Galactic Council. The entire universe seemed to hold its breath, awaiting the verdict of an unprecedented interstellar trial. Captain Roy Adams, steadfast as ever, faced the new threat with eyes burdened by the memory of human massacres. The warships, bearers of human supremacy, now found obstacles in the ranks of the enemy fleet. Each shot from the antimatter missiles pulsed in sync with the rhythm of an ancient and painful moral dilemma. The advanced shield shimmered, reflecting the duality of a universe where justice and vengeance intertwined. The Galactic Council, now in action, brought with it the shadow of future consequences and promises of mass destruction. Between the apparent calm and the impending storm, the intervention seemed to herald an epic battle. Thus, humanity found itself before a cosmic judgment where the balance between vengeance and reason unfolded. In the depths of space, the presence of the GCS Peacekeeper sparked debates and uncertainties among commanders. The Galactic Council rose as the voice of order, but also as an echo of fragile ancient alliances. Every word transmitted resonated with the weight of a fragile truce broken by time and pain. Roy Adams, with determination etched into his soul, recalled the horrors that had transformed human massacre into legend. The intervention of the aliens challenged human supremacy, demanding answers in the face of a latent thirst for vengeance. The advanced shields of the HSS Indomitable gleamed like a beacon, symbolizing the resistance of those who had survived. Each antimatter missile fired echoed the sound of a justice that refused to bend before tyranny. In the silence between the explosions, the moral dilemma emerged as a whisper that divided hearts and destinies. The battlefield transformed into a tribunal where each act of mass destruction was judged with severity. Thus, the cosmic stage prepared for a clash of wills between the space legend and the power of the Council. As the enemy fleet retreated under the watchful eye of the GCS Peacekeeper, tension became palpable. The Galactic Council presented its austere face, imposing its authority with the precision of a celestial verdict. Roy Adams, commanding the HSS Indomitable, found himself torn between the thirst for vengeance and the need to preserve humanity. The advanced shield shone brightly, like a silent vow of protection amid the chaos. Intergalactic rhetoric pulsed across the vastness of space, questioning the validity of a fragile truce in times of war. Each antimatter missile fired by adversaries bore the mark of a judgment that spared no one. The moral dilemma loomed over the scene, reminding that mass destruction always comes at a steep price. Human supremacy, forged in epic battles, now faced the rigor of a justice that transcended boundaries. The Galactic Council, with unquestionable authority, weighed the destinies of civilizations with impartiality. In the cosmic expanse, the clash between light and shadow foretold a new era of future consequences. Amid the intergalactic judgment, the narrative became a mosaic of hope and retaliation. The GCS Peacekeeper, imposing in its stance, made every word of the Galactic Council resonate like an unyielding decree. Roy Adams, a symbol of human supremacy, kept his gaze fixed on the horizon, where the future unfolded in flames and glory. Each shot of antimatter missile recalled the power that resided in vengeance and the memory of human massacres. The advanced shields of the HSS Indomitable pulsed with energy, reflecting the relentless struggle between justice and mass destruction. The once-attempted fragile truce sounded like a distant echo in the face of the alien verdict's rigor. The intervention of the Galactic Council revealed a profound moral dilemma, challenging the very essence of war. Every gesture and decision bore the weight of centuries of conflict, transforming the battlefield into a stellar court. The space legend of the HSS Indomitable was invoked as proof that humanity would never bow to oppression. Thus, the narrative unfolded into a spectacle of power, where intergalactic justice proved to be relentless. Under the cold light of the stars, the Galactic Council imposed its presence with authority and mystery. The GCS Peacekeeper loomed as a guardian, ready to judge every action of the HSS Indomitable and its allies. Roy Adams, with the gravity of a captain forged in the flames of vengeance, watched attentively every movement. The advanced shield shone intensely, like sentinels safeguarding the memory of human massacres. Each antimatter missile fired was a sigh of revolt and a symbol of mass destruction, clamoring for justice. The moral dilemma was present in every fragment of space, reminding that even vengeance has its limits. The enemy fleet trembled before the unyielding verdict emanating from the Galactic Council. Human supremacy revealed itself not only in firepower, but also in the courage to face cosmic judgments. In every explosion, the epic battle gained new contours, weaving a legend that would transcend eras. The scene transformed into a stage where the past and present united to define future consequences. In the depths of the conflict, the Galactic Council manifested as the supreme judge of destinies. The GCS Peacekeeper, with its imposing structure, embodied a justice that tolerated no failures. Roy Adams, firm in his conviction, understood that each choice could rewrite the history of human massacres. The advanced shields of the HSS Indomitable shimmered with a light that blended hope and terror in equal measure. Each antimatter missile fired was a silent scream of vengeance, echoing through the void with lethal precision. The fragile truce, once sustained by empty promises, bid farewell in the face of overwhelming force. The moral dilemma transformed the battlefield into a space of debate, where every life was sacred and fleeting. Human supremacy manifested itself in every decision and maneuver, a legacy of epic battles from the past. The Galactic Council intervened with firmness, defining the course of mass destruction that could be avoided. In the twilight of the stars, the judgment became unavoidable, foreshadowing the future consequences of every act. As the intervention reached its peak, the universe vibrated with the tension of an imminent verdict. The GCS Peacekeeper shone in the firmament, signaling that the Galactic Council would not tolerate excesses. Roy Adams, at the helm of the HSS Indomitable, felt the weight of a history marked by human massacres and eternal vengeance. The advanced shields pulsed like the heart of a warship determined to preserve human supremacy. Each antimatter missile launched told the story of epic battles, where retaliation found its place. The moral dilemma deepened with each moment, reminding that intergalactic justice demanded balance and sacrifice. The intervention of the Galactic Council transformed the battlefield into a courtroom where fate was sealed with rigor. Amidst the fury and chaos, the space legend of the HSS Indomitable emerged as a beacon of hope and power. The universe watched, aware that every decision could forever alter the course of cosmic history. Thus, with the interstellar judgment underway, future consequences unfolded in lines of fire and glory. In the incandescent vortex of conflict, the HSS Indomitable rose as a witness to unyielding human supremacy. Captain Roy Adams, with the gaze of a warrior marked by the horrors of human massacre, prepared for confrontation. The Galactic Council, proud and severe, raised its relentless fleet like an army of cosmic titans. Each warship emanated the weight of a story filled with revenge and fragile truces shattered. The advanced shield shimmered under the starlight, defying the imminent attack of antimatter missiles. The moral dilemma permeating the hearts of both sides created a palpable tension in the infinite space. Each pulse of the HSS Indomitable narrated the space legend of a battle destined to alter fates. The contained fury and unyielding determination of Roy reflected the essence of human supremacy. The deafening sound of antimatter missiles was the prelude to the impending mass destruction. In the depths of the universe, the clash of titans heralded future consequences that would echo through time. At the moment the battle erupted, the cosmos transformed into a stage of fury and glory. Captain Roy Adams commanded the HSS Indomitable with precision, each order resonating like a hymn of vengeance. The warships of the Galactic Council advanced with the force of an enemy fleet determined to subjugate humanity. Antimatter missiles sliced through space with the agility of a predetermined fate, promising mass destruction. The advanced shields glimmered like relics of a space legend forged in past battles. Each explosion reverberated with the weight of the moral dilemma that plagued both sides of the conflict. The retaliation from the Hazari, even amidst the chaos, found its place in the narrative of revenge and justice. The sound of gunfire and the glow of missiles formed a chaotic symphony, guiding the fate of the battle. Roy Adams, unperturbed, faced the enemy with the calmness of a master who had mastered the arts of war. In the whirlwind of combat, each clash of arms wrote a new page in intergalactic history. As the battle intensified, the tension between the HSS Indomitable and the Galactic Council became nearly tangible. Captain Roy Adams commanded the warship with the boldness of a leader whose soul had been shaped by human massacres. Antimatter missiles and advanced shields danced a deadly waltz, tracing trajectories of light and shadow. Each explosion in space was a testament to the determination and fury of an army that knew no surrender. Human supremacy manifested in every maneuver, defiantly challenging the oppressive power of the Council with dignity. The vibrations of the experimental phase cannon announced a turning point that would echo throughout the universe. The sound of gunfire resonated like thunder, while debris floated in a scene of chaos and beauty. On the battlefield, the moral dilemma unfolded in every decision, questioning the price of vengeance. Each minute became eternal, and the clash of titans inspired legends that would transcend time. The cosmic horizon vibrated with the energy of an epic battle that would define future consequences for all civilizations. At the height of the combat, the clashes transformed into a ballet of light and mass destruction. Roy Adams, with the firmness of a captain burdened by the horrors of human massacre, led the charge. The Galactic Council, formidable in its fleet, launched coordinated attacks with the precision of a stellar clock. Antimatter missiles collided with the advanced shields, creating explosions that illuminated the darkness of space. The experimental phase. Cannon pulsed in silence, waiting for the exact moment to deliver a decisive blow. Each maneuver was guided by an intricate moral dilemma, where revenge and justice intertwined in fire. The tension of the clash inspired a spectacle of bravery, where human supremacy rose as a beacon. The sound of gunfire composed the soundtrack of an epic battle, with the fate of worlds hanging in the balance. Each wreckage and fragment illuminated the space legend being written amidst adversity. In the climax of the confrontation, the future consequences loomed like shadows stretching across the universe. As the clash continued, Roy Adams's determination shone like an indomitable flame. The HSS Indomitable held steadfast, its war structure symbolizing human resilience amidst the fury. The Galactic Council, with its imposing fleet, faced each assault with a pride bordering on arrogance. Antimatter missiles sliced through the void, each shot carrying the promise of mass destruction and retribution. The advanced shields shimmered like a shield of hope, protecting the ship that was both legend and legacy. Each shot from the experimental phase cannon resonated with the weight of a moral dilemma that divided universes. The duel between titans became a violent dance, where vengeance interwove with the quest for redemption. Every fraction of a second on the battlefield was a testament to human supremacy and unwavering courage. Roy Adams, at the helm of the warship, defied the limits of the impossible with a smile of determination. Amidst the cosmic storm, the epic battle traced lines of glory and suffering, marking history. In the chaos of the confrontation, the clash was not just physical, but a collision of ideals and destinies. Roy Adams embodied human supremacy, a living symbol of resistance and retributive justice. On the other side, the Galactic Council represented a cold, calculating order intent on imposing its will. Each shot from the antimatter missiles was a war cry, laden with the pains of past human massacres. The advanced shields shimmered like barriers between hope and ruin, witnessing the fury of the moment. The experimental phase, cannon silent in its lethality, awaited to transform the moral dilemma into decisive action. The titanic battle was a symphony of light and shadow, where vengeance intertwined with reason and despair. Each clash of weaponry reverberated through the cosmos, marking the narrative of a space legend in the making. The confrontation was as much a test of strength as it was a debate about the true cost of intergalactic justice. At the epicenter of the combat, future consequences were written in every explosion, like promises of a new dawn. In the final moment of the battle, tension reached its peak, and the Titans confronted each other with titanic courage. Roy Adams, imbued with a determination that transcended the pain of massacres and the thirst for vengeance, advanced without hesitation. The HSS Indomitable, gleaming under the glow of antimatter missiles, was the embodiment of a living space legend. The Galactic Council unleashed its power with the precision of an inevitable destiny, challenging every human advance. Advanced shields shimmered like walls of light, attempting to contain the relentless force of mass destruction. Every shot from the experimental phase cannon sealed a chapter in the epic battle, blending tragedy and glory. The moral dilemma pulsed intensely as humanity rose in a final act of supremacy and justice. The war among Titans resonated in the heart of the universe, where vengeance and redemption embraced in a deadly hug. With a roar that defied the silence of space, the confrontation moved toward its fateful outcomes. At the threshold of the unknown, the clash opened the way for new legends, leaving an eternal echo of bravery. As the stars bear witness to the unparalleled saga of Captain Roy Adams aboard the legendary HSS Indomitable, I invite you to move forward and let yourself be carried into the next chapter of this cosmic epic. Have you ever paused to reflect on how a fragile truce unravels under the weight of a human massacre and the fury of an enemy fleet? What if human supremacy, symbolized by the experimental phase cannon, holds the key to rewriting future consequences? What mysteries still lie in wait within the Galactic Council and its imposing GCS Peacekeeper? With each passing moment, the space legend renews itself and challenges the limits of the impossible, inviting you to discover whether the Hazari and their designs can withstand an unparalleled retaliation. Let your curiosity guide your next step. Click on the video that appears on your screen and immerse yourself in this narrative filled with emotion and surprising revelations. Are you ready to engage with stories where every shot echoes like a cry for justice and every explosion heralds a new era? Don't miss the chance to be a part of this intergalactic journey. Subscribe to the channel and activate notifications to be the first to uncover the secrets the universe has in store for us. After all, the next adventure is just a click away, waiting to ignite your imagination with the flame of vengeance and the beauty of mass destruction. Are you prepared to continue exploring this cosmos of enigmas and challenges? Come, Embark with us on this odyssey and let every second transport you to a universe where the impossible becomes reality.